sitting on Loki's lap, laughing about quantum theory with him and her friends. She remembers him saying that turning blue might be a symptom of dying, and she remembers wanting to kiss him for it right then and there. She vaguely recalls getting into a cab and letting her head fall onto Loki's lap. He'd smiled down at her and kissed her hand. After that, things are kind of a blur. She heads for the door and hears someone say, "Miss Lewis?" Stopping, Amy turns around, expecting to see an agent. Instead, she sees a slender, pale, blonde-headed man with brown eyes who looks familiar, and at the same time not. It's the man she met in the park near the Troll Gate, the one who looks so much like Liddle, the elf she met in Alfheim. Liddle and his wife were on their way to the land of the Dark Elves when she met them. She worries about them, which is probably why her brain is making this bizarre connection. This man isn't Liddle. His features aren't as perfect, he has a scar, and the tops of his ears aren't pointed. She tilts her head. They're round, but oddly shaped, like the cauliflower ears of boxers or wrestlers. "Miss Lewis?" he says, coming forward, his English flawless and American, not like Liddle's halting magical speech. "We met in the park," he says. "I think we are neighbors." Yes," says Amy, rubbing her temple. "I remember." Stepping a little too close, he says, "We should get coffee later." "Coffee?" she says. Instinctively taking a small step backwards, she takes in his short, heavy black coat, black pants, and black work boots. "Yes," he says, thrusting his hands into his coat pockets. "At 10:45. He licks his lips nervously. "There's a place a couple of blocks from here, just past Wabash and the train tracks." Amy stares at him, measuring his attire and the way his eyes dart about. "Sure," she says. "Sure." Letting out a breath of air, he takes a step closer. "Thank you. Please don't be late." "I won't," she says, standing her ground this time despite the urge to flee. She won't go at all. He's creeping her out. Nodding curtly, he turns and heads out the door. She watches him move up LaSalle and disappear into the morning commuters. Blinking, she steps out of the pharmacy. One of the agents from the car is waiting for her there. Together they head across the street to a duo. The snow has melted from the ground, but the dark storm clouds that she'd thought had passed over are back overhead. She hears a distant rumble of thunder and shudders. The weather is bizarre, even for Chicago. She's just going through the office's revolving doors, leaving her escort behind, when it occurs to her she never gave her name to the man who just asked her out for coffee. She nearly sprints into the office. Steve is leaning against the reception desk, a coffee in one hand. His eyes are red and puffy, and his suit is rumpled. "Steve, something weird happened." He rubs his eyes and smiles. "Before or after Loki tucked you in last night?" Amy's jaw drops. Her train of thought reaches the station, but no words come out of her mouth. Humming happily, Steve takes a sip of her coffee. Wait, why is Steve happy? She looks around. And why are there two huge guys in black suits she's never seen before standing outside Steve's closed office door? Suddenly, from behind Steve's door booms a voice that is vaguely familiar.
"What the hell were you thinking? You raided my nephew's apartment? His wife is 6 months pregnant."
There is a moment of silence. Steve swallows a big gulp of coffee. A massive, girly coffee with whipped cream. "Ah," he says with a smile. Who is in your office?" Amy asks, nodding toward the guys even she can see are bodyguards. Steve's smile widens. "Mayor Ronnie. He needed a place to speak to Jameson privately." "Oh," says Amy at the mention of Chicago's famously outspoken mayor. Mayor Ronnie's voice booms through a duo again.
"Your head is so far up your ass you're seeing daylight, Jameson."
Steve blinks and tilts his head. "That line is inspired. I may have to use it sometime." There is silence from behind the closed door for a few moments, and Steve frowns.